Hello everyone, this is Prashant here. Welcome to Hitify. Today's topic is the ever controversial stereotyping of South Indians in Hindi cinema. For me, stereotyping is a soft form of racism by itself, and Bollywood has done a great job in projecting the literally non-existent stereotypes of South Indians. Now, before I delve into the Bollywood South stereotype, I must also say stereotyping also existed in South cinema, where, for instance, Sardars were shown to be big at heart, hardworking, but not so brainy, the ones you read in Sardar jokes. Then Marwadis used to be shown as mean, money-minded folks. Tamil cinema used to depict a Malayali as a negative character or a tea shop owner, always saying "Ende Guruvayurappa" every 10 minutes. A Malayalam movie used to depict Tamils as negative characters or someone obsessed with MGR or Rajnikant or a mean landlord super protective of his daughter. This was all 10-20 years ago, where the exposure to other cultures was quite limited. Over the years, I must say, at least in southern cinema, stereotyping has reduced quite a bit. In Alaipayude, when Madhavan and Shalini get married, they stay in a home owned by a Malayali, who advises Madhavan about the love life before and after marriage. In Malayalam movie Big B, Pashupati plays a subtle yet impactful assistant commissioner of police, where his performance was critically acclaimed. Then it was Vinay Thandi Varuvaya, and finally, Premam, which broke many barriers and bridged many gaps between the cultures. There are so many more examples I can delve into, but the focus of today's topic is Bollywood's stereotyping of South Indians and why I think we cannot expect it to change anytime soon. Now let's rewind back to 1968. The Madrasi character of the movie Padosan, played by Mehmood, was such a big hit that character represented the entire south of India for Bollywood audience back then. Now, Mehmood was playing the role of a Tamil Brahmin called Masterji, who is a creepy Carnatic classical music guru with the surname Pillai. This movie turned out to be a huge hit and was lapped up by the audience within the Bollywood boundaries. Back in the days, even if people in South got offended by such portrayals, they didn't have many outlets to vent out their frustrations. Moreover, there were vibrant film industries back in the days in each of the southern states, and not many cared to watch Hindi cinema. Last I heard, Pillai is a surname common in Kerala and Tamil Nadu, but not a surname for Tamil Brahmins. Well, the factual accuracy didn't matter back then for Bollywood audience, as the cinema totally validated their preconceived notion of a Madrasi, the term that our beloved British colonizers gifted through their Madras presidency that covered many parts of all 5 states of South. Now one may wonder, they didn't hurt anybody, right? And just poked a little fun, and why do we really care about it now? Why do we bring it up now? My answer is simple. Back in the days when the workers, professionals, and students used to migrate from south to north, there was extreme racism and discrimination, and the movie Padosan validated that preconceived notion in north, which had very little or no exposure to anything that happened down south. Another damage it did was the utter disregard it created for Carnatic classical music. I myself have seen some folks poking fun at Carnatic classical music performers, as the best ones can get little carried away or little animated with their performance, and that is true for any classical art form, including the Hindustani art form. Now fast forward 1990, one of the biggest hits of Amitabh Bachchan, Agnipath had Mithun Chakraborty play a pivotal role called Krishnan Iyer M.A. Nariyal Paniwala. Okay, so this was considered as a top-notch performance by Mithun back in the days. Few years back, I saw him and his fans rave about the performance where he was the judge in a reality show, Dance India Dance. Mithun said that he was inspired by a person from Kerala who was his roommate during his struggling years. For me, it looked like a reincarnation of what Mehmood did, minus the 3 horizontal vibhutis. It sounded neither like a Malayali nor a Tamilian, but a silly and caricaturish dialect meant to pull the audience who were desperately missing all the Madrasi jokes back then. Now fast forward many years. Om Shanti Om, right? The landmark Bollywood cinema happened in 2007. Average moviegoers back then raved about this rubbish movie. This SRK, Deepika Padukone and Farah Khan film was all about Ek Chutki Sindoor dialogue of Deepika and the Iana Raskala performance by SRK. For audience who have not seen this movie, the context of the joke here is the American cowboy movie genre also became a rage in India, and hence Hindi, Tamil and Telugu made a bunch of them back in the days. It was like 30-40 years back. Now if you think about it, it all looks ridiculously funny, right? When SRK enacted all this in that movie, he made up his own language to deliver the so-called punch dialogues, enacting a South Indian cowboy. I wouldn't blame SRK, as he realized that his fans wouldn't care which language it is. At the end of the day, as long as it sounds like a South Indian or a Madrasi, he knew he made it. I think from this movie onwards, SRK became the flag bearer of Madrasi jokes, and guess what? He tried to sell those movies in South too, which I will come in a bit. Ravan was an extremely ambitious project for SRK. I remember that around this time, the release of Endiran, the Shankar directed one, had given chills to the film crew as it was extremely superior to what SRK and crew had envisioned for Ravan. What irked me was the role of Shekhar Subramaniam, a nerdish game designer played by SRK himself. This South Indian character had everything you needed for his audience to burst into laughter, starting from saying Ayyo Ayyo every now and then, and eating pasta or noodles with curd, and repeating the full name of his character multiple times in the movie. One good thing to note was that Kareena Kapoor also played a South Indian character, and the good news was that the makers spared us from Kareena putting up that South Indian accent. Can you imagine? Another irritating experience with the song Chamak Chalo. It not only had dance steps mocking Rajnikant, Kareena's South Indian parent characters were shown doing some mockery of themselves during the dance sequence. While the movie was whatever it was, the astonishing thing for me was that SRK was marketing it heavily even in the southern states, claiming that he is playing a South Indian and everyone in South should go and watch it as they can relate to it. That just summarized the understanding that the team Ravan had about South. Now, when SRK and Deepika joined hands again for Chennai Express, directed by remake bot Rohit Shetty, this time it was a fresh subject right from the brains of Rohit himself, who himself claims that his cinema is not made for intellectuals. For SRK fans, this movie must have been a roller coaster ride. The Bollywood item song of the year, Lungi Dance, was marketed as a tribute to Rajnikant, which any person with little sense would realize is a way to poke fun at Rajnikant and Tamil audience in general. While there is emphasis on coconut, everyone in South India clearly knows that the state obsessed with coconut in South is Kerala, not Tamil Nadu. Firstly, this movie had nothing to do with Chennai, and the movie makers totally avoided getting there as they knew that it is one of the best cosmopolitan cities in India with vibrant industrial and IT parks contributing immensely to India's GDP. Now, while watching this movie, it was clear that the movie is not for a sensible audience, and the only intention is to get those nonsensical audience some instant gratification by presenting everyone in South as caricaturish. They show a banana republic where the goons rule the place. We know the intention of the maker here is to portray Deepika as a Tamilian, but they messed up big time. At times, she wears Andhra style costumes, and at times, Malayali kasava. It was even hard to figure out which accent she was trying to mock, whether it was a Mallu accent or a Tamil accent. It was just a reaffirmation of the fact that the Bollywood is still stuck at the hypothetical Madrasi character which was discovered by Mehmood back in 1968. Now moving on to Dirty Picture. With no disrespect to Silk Smitha, one would wonder why Bollywood producers chose to pick the story of her while there were so many other inspiring stories of actors and actresses. Yes, you got it right. It fits well with the Madrasi narrative where Bollywood wants to project South actresses as fat, voluptuous with thunder thighs, and the actors are generally aged with thick mustaches. Now, likewise, when actor Prithviraj got ripped with six-pack abs to be cast opposite Rani Mukherji, we all wondered that it might break the mold of a South Indian character. Unfortunately, the cringe-worthy promo song where Rani is shown lusting for Prithvi was good enough for any sensible moviegoer to avoid venturing into it further. This was Rani Mukherji's attempt to enact and mock some steamy songs in Tamil, Telugu and Kannada many years back. I'm sure Prithvi was not proud of this role as well. Now friends, as I end this video, I'm not generalizing Bollywood here. There are extremely sensible directors in Bollywood like Anurag Kashyap who are very knowledgeable about the sensibilities of each and every state down south as well. Now, there are some like Shujit Sarkar, Sriram Raghavan, Ashutosh Gavarikar and many more who do enough research before venturing into any region or religion. There are also enough sensible audiences up north who don't like all the Madrasi crap that the Bollywood sells them time and again. Unfortunately, there are many more directors and actors and producers who are repeatedly fooling their audience and minting money by inducing stereotypes, prejudice and racism against many cultures in India and predominantly South. Now, I must say, since the release of Bahubali, I'm seeing that the attitude of Bollywood movie makers has changed quite a bit. I hope one day we can see sensible South Indian characters in Bollywood. Thank you very much, folks.